Okay, first movements to get you back to feeling like yourself and reconnecting. The goal here is breath, learning how to reconnect to the breath. So we're going to remember that our inhales are big into the ribs. We feel the pressure move through our abdominal wall, down into our pelvic floor. On the exhale, it's just a plunger. Think about that pelvic floor gently rises, belly comes back, up and back. Ribs, we're going to try to keep wide. Okay, so big inhale, fill, release, exhale, pelvic floor naturally comes up, belly starts to hug in, ribs we're going to try to keep wide. So it's breath. We're thinking about how to breathe. Where are we getting stuck? Where can we breathe a little deeper? How can we keep those ribs open? And the other aspect of this is rebuilding your stack, right? So remember that after having a baby, while still pregnant, the body posture often shifts. Okay, so a lot of us have either a pelvis that is tipped back or spilling forward. Hello. Very helpful. And our ribs are either hunched down and really tucked in, or they're thrust forward. So no matter where you are, the goal is to get that pelvis neutral and the ribs back and sitting on top of the bowl of the pelvis. Okay, so bowl on bowl, balanced. So we're going to start all of this with simply breathing. Okay, so we're going to work on that waterfall breath. I'm going to use a ball. You can use a pillow. You can go nothing. You can just use belly. You can find any position that works for you. I like this one because it really forces the breath to the back. Oh, Simon, you're going to make me sneeze. Hopefully that didn't destroy the mic. Okay, so belly, ball against belly, right into those ribs. Okay, we don't want it up in the chest. We want it to all the pressure that's going to come down from the diaphragm dropping down. We want that pressure to shift back. Okay, not just into the belly. So we're going to lean forward and we're going to inhale into our back, into our ribs. Hold it. Inhale deeper. Hold. And inhale really deep. And then soft exhale. And again, inhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. So there's no exhales yet. Inhale last time, really deep. Feel that push, feel that pressure in those ribs. And then release. Okay, we'll do it one more time together. You can do as many times as you need. So we're creating mobility in the back. Inhale deeper. Hold. Inhale even deeper. And relax. Decide two more times. We're going to do one more time. Because you don't want to just breathe with me. You can breathe on your own time. So this one is the rib smash to get the pressure to pop up through the other side of the ribs. I'm going to use a block, though I sometimes prefer a foam roller. Maybe I'll use a foam roller. Maybe I'll do that, since I've already used the block today. So wherever's comfy for your hips, your knees, and you're up and over those ribs. Sorry, that foam roller is in the ribs, not the low ribs, like by your waist, but up near like a bra strap, up towards your shoulder blade, towards your armpit. And then you're going to lay over. So here it's going to be easy for your belly to just be like, I've got this. I'll take all the pressure. So instead, I want you to think about that belly's going to hold some tension, and you're going to feel that inhale pressure into the side ribs and into the back. So same sort of thing. You can just inhale deep, or you can do a waterfall. Inhale, hold. Inhale, hold. Inhale as far as you can. And relax. And find maybe a new spot to really challenge those ribs. So here it's really necessary to build mobility back into the ribs. You've got lots of little muscles and connective tissue in between each of those ribs. And this is like a massage. You're creating pressure, you're putting tension on those spaces. And then when you release, as we come up and over to do the other side, you will have created a little bit more space in those ribs, intercostals. So up and over onto the other side. You take it as long as you want to do it. Ooh, this side's my really stuck side. So I'm going to shift towards my back side ribs. So some nice deep breaths. And again, you can take as long as you need. Sweet. Okay. Salmon's on my notes. Salmon is a cat, in case you didn't know that, why would you know? Salmon is a cat, and she's on my notes. So I know it's a pelvic tilt, though. So feet on the ground, or you can put them on the wall and drag them down the wall. But this is okay, too. Our focus is inhaling into the ribs, into the back, okay? So not inhaling here. We're thinking about feeling against the ground. Neck is long, so we're not tucking here. Nice long neck. The back of the head, not the bottom of the head. So nice big inhale as everything's soft. Exhale, everything's soft. Big inhale. And release. Inhale. Okay. On your next exhale, you're going to squeeze the ball. Oh yeah, ball's great. Stuffed animal, anything that can create something for you to push against, pillow. You're going to squeeze here. That's going to turn on the inner thighs and start to fire the lower pelvic floor and in. So as you start the exhale, you squeeze and you're going to tuck that tailbone. But I want you to create this movement from the lower core. So not the glutes, okay? You can't squeeze and tuck. Okay, so big inhale, release. I'm getting like a hamstring cramp. Big inhale, exhale, tuck. Big inhale, release. So if you can, keep that sacrum on the ground. Don't tilt all the way away, like onto the tailbone. That's creating too much of that shifting of the pelvis and the ribs, right? You can see my ribs are way up here. My pelvis is falling forward. Okay, so if we can just keep ribs down. Inhale, release, tension. Exhale, pelvis comes up to meet those ribs. Inhale, release. Exhale. So you're going to do this a few times, maybe 10 or so, at your own pace. I'm flying through it because I've got more things to show you. Okay. Awesome. So we don't need the ball now at this point, but we're going to stay on our backs. We're going to work our way into heel drops. This is another one to fire that lower core. Something we don't want to do here is to let the pelvis move with the leg, okay? This leg is going to float on its own. If we are tilting, we're losing that lower core, okay? We're stretching out the abs. We're losing that supportive canister, that supportive core. Okay, so the goal is keep that sacrum on the ground. Pelvis is nice and neutral. Ribs are stacked right on top of them. We inhale into the ribs, keep them big, keep those hands here. Exhale, those ribs stay wide, and you're just going to use that core, that lower core, to create the movement. Inhale. Nice and wide. Nice and big. It's almost like that same sort of waterfall process of keeping the ribs wide. Let the core stay where it is. Go a little bit wider. You're not losing control by creating more space with that diaphragm, because that lower core then has to fire and turn on and work, okay? So heel drops, a must. Crossbody, okay, this is a good one. We have done this with a block before, but here we're gonna, you can do it here and reach, but sometimes that's gonna be a little bit more challenging. If we bring the knee up, I think we have a little bit more engagement, okay? So this is another one where you can keep that exhale going, that control, or you can fully release on the inhales, okay? So we're inhaling first, exhale, press. So you feel that core start to fire diagonally. Inhale, release, exhale. Feel free to bring the knee a little bit in, pressing in with the hand through the underneath the armpit. I'm getting another cramp. Someone's dehydrated. That's me. Okay, so if you want to up level this, you're just going to keep that exhale going, but inhale into the ribs like we just practiced with the heel drops. So it's inhale, always start from that inhale, exhale, press. Now keep that tension, pressing, engaging, inhale into the ribs. Exhale, the core just goes a little bit more engaged. We're not clenching the pelvic floor, we don't need to. Those muscles will fire because they're in demand right now. They need to be recruited. Good, so you can do that up to like 5 breaths. I wouldn't do more than that. Okay, so other side, I've got to do it with you because I'm gonna, otherwise you're gonna forget and I'm gonna be off kilter. Okay, so big inhale, release. Exhale. Good, and big inhale, release. Keep those ribs wide. This is a good one for that powerful exhale. Okay, one more. We're going to hold here, inhale into the chest. Exhale, go a little deeper into the chest. Go a little deeper. Last one. Okay. Shake it out. Oh! I hope that felt good. Great. Okay, checking my notes. Heel drop, crossbody. Yes, hip shift. Okay. So, we will need the ball eventually, but you need a block or a really sturdy pillow, maybe that you can fold in half, maybe a decent sized book. And we are going to pop it. Whoa! We're not going to break anything as we're doing this. One knee on the block. Stretch yourself out. Maybe this is enough here. We're inhaling into that open, shifted open side. I'm going to have to figure out a different spot for my mic because all you're hearing is my breath. Usually I don't wear this high collar shirt. Okay, if you need more space, right? If you feel like you're always slouching, always stuck down, reach a little bit forward and breathe a little deeper. Great. Okay, other side. You, of course, this video is not a perfect follow along because you can pause it at any point and take as long as you need. It's a quick run through, but you can always pause, take 10 breaths, whatever your body is saying it needs. Okay, I'm going to do one more here. Okay. All right. So next is that hip shift. Next time we'll work more on the bird dog version, but right now we're simply, I'll point directly at you so you can see the crazy shifting of the hips. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, toes not way out, but not, I don't want you to cross, okay? Either strictly behind the hip or a little bit open. Yeah, gonna open up the back of that pelvis a little better. So we're inhale, everything's on the ground. Exhale, use that lower core to lift. Inhale, release, exhale. So the goal is not to open the whole body. We are simply trying to get the hips to shift. So I'll turn to the side so you can kind of see how high each side is going to be a little different. We're thinking about not letting ourselves fall through, and we're not up here, okay? Bring that chest through and then press through the palms, okay? Lift that head up and lengthen. We're not here, okay? We're not turtles. So big inhale, exhale. Okay, one more each side. You can take them at whatever pace works for you. Remember, pause whenever you need to. And yeah, just, you'll know the things that are like, I don't like this. It doesn't feel great. Does it not feel great because you need to do it a little more so you can stretch and relax? Or is it truly painful? Like, what is it? And then write it down so that you don't forget and you tell me. Okay, so this next one is a static hold hinge. You can use a towel. You don't need a band. Okay, we're gonna remember to let the knee be on top of the toes. We're gonna sit back into the glute. We're thinking about that stack. Head over ribs, ribs over pelvis. Okay, so we're not falling forward. We're not tucked down. We are sitting back into that glute. This one is there, but not really. And we're going to create some tension. Just pull up against that towel or whatever it is you have. And I want you to feel it here. So rock around in that foot, roll those shoulders back, and breathe. Think about inhaling into the back of the ribs. Notice if you feel like your hips are in a weird position. I want both hip bones pointing straight forward. Sits bones aren't wonky either. So wiggle around, see where that is. This is one that it's worth sticking in, especially when it gets hard. So like 45 seconds to a minute, repeated like 3 times. You're golden. It's gonna be great. This is my tricky side that I've been to PT for a long time. Not that long, only like 2 months. But we all have our things, so go easy on yourself. Find that optimal position. Feel that glute turn on, feel that stack. Now breathe into the ribs. Every exhale, think about that lower belly coming up and in a little bit, but the ribs are staying wide. I don't have a timer. So hopefully those will be helpful. Try to do that a few times. Maybe not that sequence over and over in one. And what I mean is like, take your time with each exercise. Give yourself 15, 20 minutes if you can, and really challenge yourself with repetition, because that's where you're going to build your muscle tone. And then think about your stack throughout your day, and it'll be great.